What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm here with another video today with Miss Mesa, as you can see behind me. I'm here for day 2 today. This is going to be our second session together. You can't see it right now. I do have the saddle out today, so we're gonna try some things today and get back on our groundwork grind. So it has been, I don't think it's been a week, but it's been a few days since the last video that you saw with her, which if I remember to, I'll put up in this corner, but if it's not there, go to my channel to see the first video I had with Mesa in her refresher series that we're doing. She is a resales horse, and she basically just needs a refresher and a confidence builder. So we're back today with some groundwork. I am in my sweatpants today because, you know, sometimes that's just what it is. We don't have to be in our Sunday best every time we work with our horses. So in the sweatpants today because I'm human and I don't always wear my equestrian attire. So it just is what it is. Sorry if you don't like it. I'm letting her eat a little snack right now. I'm going to go ahead and brush her off and then we'll get started. Okay, so starting out with my whip exercises like I normally do. If you guys saw the last video, I kind of explained why I do this, but I'm just starting out with flicking it around, kind of a little mental warm-up for her. You'll also see throughout this video where she kind of gets impatient or just not interested and tries to walk off, and I have to correct her and put her back in her spot where she was. And that's just kind of a respect thing, kind of like a, hey, I'm doing this right now and you can pay attention. And her walking off is basically her saying, I don't want to do this, I'm bored and I'd rather go over here and I don't need to pay attention right now. And so just correcting that and putting her back in her spot, just a little respect thing on the ground. Okay, we're still working on getting her confidence up with the lunging. You'll see a couple times she kind of stops and turns and looks at me just to make sure that she's doing it right or checking in with me. And I just keep pushing her on. And today she gets a little bit too sassy with going back to work. I think just with being pushed, and I'm also on her off side, on her right side. She gets a little bit of attitude with me and just kind of told me I don't feel like doing this today. So I did correct that. You'll see in the video I honestly wasn't expecting her to do that, so you'll see me bop her a couple times with the rope and then just push her straight through it. She can't learn that she gets any sort of break or release from that, so I just have to push her right through it even harder. And once she comes back down and trots a couple good circles for me, then I'll let her stop, but she has to be pushed through that little tantrum. You know, the attitude and stuff like this where she's just having little tantrums and little fits because she doesn't want to work, that's all part of the process. It's very normal, especially with a horse like her that was broke at one time and has been sitting in a pasture for a few years and hasn't had to be told what to do and stuff like that. So it's normal. I'm not mad at her for it. She just needs to be pushed through it. And this is also kind of her testing her boundaries with me. She doesn't know me very well. We haven't worked together a lot, and she's gonna try to see what all she can get away with and what all is allowed. So and I'm just gonna keep lunging her basically until she gives me several good trotting circles on both sides, especially since she's only had the tantrums on her right side, and that's kind of her bad side or her less preferred side. So I'm not going to let her stop until she gives me some nice respectful circles from both directions. Once she does that, we can move on. So I got the saddle out today to start reintroducing that to her, and she was pretty curious about it. I could tell that she did seem a little bit tense, just with me kind of flinging it around, and she does kind of walk away a couple times, almost like she would rather avoid it. But we got it on, and I'm just gonna take it slow with her and just kind of throw the pad on her a few times, throw the saddle up against her a few times. And once I get it on her, I'm just gonna start with flapping the stirrups around. And this is just to make sure that she's not spooked by any of the noises. You wouldn't believe, honestly, how many horses I've worked with that like just the sound of something flapping or like the latigo being tightened up and just weird little buckles clinking together that will spook. It's happened several times to me, so I always do this just to make sure she hears these noises and isn't shocked by them or startled by them later. So when we're lunging, she's prepared. As far as lunging with the saddle on, honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of expectations. I really just would like her to be able to walk both directions with it on. A little bit of trotting would be preferred as well. So just as long as she doesn't have any tantrums, doesn't spook or buck or anything like that, just gives me some respectful, nice, easy lunging both ways, then that's really all that I'm looking for. Just want her to reacclimate to the saddle, get used to the feeling of it again, get used to the sounds, etc. This also seems to be another pattern that we've picked up of kind of not letting me be on just either side of her or where I want to be. Basically, when I'm walking around her, she tries to avoid letting me go where I'm trying to go. So right now I'm trying to go to the latigo to kind of tighten the saddle. Actually, I'm going to take it off, but she doesn't want me there, so she's trying to turn around and avoid me being there. And so when she does this, I basically just keep the pressure on and let her spin and spin and spin, disengage those hindquarters, and I don't stop until she stops. And hopefully we'll break this habit and she'll realize it's more work than it's worth. All right, guys, this video was a tad bit more eventful than last time. I could definitely tell Mesa was a little bit more, I wouldn't say edgy today, but a little more confrontational today. She was like, I don't feel like doing this. And she got through it okay. No big catastrophes or anything, but she definitely got the gist of the correction. So anyway, she worked through it all right. I think we're still gonna have to keep working at it. She's got a little bit of a tantrum tendency going on, so it'll just take time. Again, this is only our second session, so she hasn't been working for the last couple years, and her last owner her last rider kind of instilled some weird habits into her, so we're still working through those. I'm sure she's reliving those and trying to revert back to those old habits, but overall she did pretty good today. A couple of corrections and she got to think through them, and no catastrophes with the saddle on either, which is always good. So I'm just gonna let her eat now that we're done and put my stuff away. Hopefully you guys enjoyed session. Next time, I think we're gonna do more saddle work and maybe just bouncing in the stirrups a little bit. Nothing crazy. I don't think that she's ready to be ridden yet. And we do need to get through our groundwork with no tantrums before I ask her to work on her back. So we'll get there. Just stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss an upload if you want to continue watching her journey, and I'd love for you to stick around. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.